Father Time is undefeated. But in pro wrestling, retirements are usually on a payment plan. Saturday night, WWE looked you in the face and said no takebacks. John Cena, Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C., Saturday night's main event. And the question wasn't, can Cena win? It was, can WWE actually commit to the ending? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the T-Drop, the only wrestling breakdown show where we don't just call out the spots, we call out the chaos, maybe some drama, with no soft behavior energy. Tonight was marked as Saturday was marked as the final match of John Cena, started in June 2002 with Kurt Angle and the two words that turned into a whole era: ruthless aggression. Fast forward 23 years, 17 world titles, and enough memories to fill a Hall of Fame wing. And WWE gives us a final opponent that's not nostalgia. It's Judgment. Gunther, the ring general. Let's get into it because this show was basically one emotional roller coaster with 3 matches tapped to it. The night starts with Cody Rhodes and Oba Femi. Cody Rhodes coming into the ring, kissing the mat like he's trying to power up. And of course, this, just so everyone's clear, it's a non-title match. It's just champion versus champion. And then Oba Femi shows up. By the way, whoever did the production for these entrances tonight were amazing. Because Oba Femi's entrance, the way they angled the camera, the way the light hit the back of Oba Femi, and all you see is this guy just walking in like he's ready to just crush everyone. He looked like jacked up and following the beat of his own music. Like, amazing. Oba Femi's entrance was top tier. Definitely check it out if you haven't. It was great. Early lockup on Oba Femi immediately lets the crowd and Cody knows that he is the dominant one, not Cody. Cody is not deadlifting this man at all. Not today, not ever. Oba throwing Cody around. Irish curse backbreaker, big toss, lariats, and Cody's doing the I am the champion for the reason comeback chops, power slam, Cody cutter, top of the rope. But Obi's presence is ridiculous. He hits the running uppercut at the announcer table eventually. But Oba Femi hits a running uppercut to the announcer's table. And somehow through that whole running, Cody gets busted open on his ear. It might have been a busted eardrum for all we know. But he got busted open and started bleeding. All this power. And then what do we get? A weird ass ending. Because eventually after an uppercut, after a throwdown in the middle of the ring, we get a visit from someone. We get, right when the match is about to answer who is the best between these two, Drew McIntyre shows up and attacks Cody, ending the match in a no contest, which is fine because honestly, do you want these top 2 hot commodities lose to someone at this moment, at least between these 2 champs? So it was meant to happen, honestly. They weren't going to let Oba Femi lose to Cody because he's Cody. Oba Femi is on the rise for his own reasons, and him losing to Cody wouldn't help. And then obviously if Cody lost to Oba Femi, he just looks like crap because he is the top face of the company right now. So it was meant, especially after the promo that Cody did on Friday. So Drew McIntyre shows up and attacks Cody. This was WWE solving who's going to take the L, like I said, but everybody gets mad. Nobody loses clean. After all this chaos, it was great that Oba Femi is like, what the hell, man? He pushes him eventually. He goes face to face with Drew and shoves Drew. Cody eventually gets up, hits Drew with a Cody cutter, Oba chokeslams Cody, and then Cody sees Drew move away, and then Cody grabs both titles, hands Oba his, and they raise their hand. That little moment tells you Oba isn't just visiting, he's getting ready to arrive. So, a good moment for Oba. No one loses, no one gets weak from this. Just further tells the story, even potentially a story with Oba and Drew. Both of them being a very tall group, that could be a potential match. We will see. I don't even know what's going to be the potential plan for Oba in the next couple months, especially since he's champ. But obviously, we're getting a Cody and Drew match soon. Don't know when, though. Hopefully, it gets answered at the next SmackDown. Anyway, probably one of the best highlights of this night is the match between Bayley and Sol Ruca, because Sol Ruca really killed it for her match. She was ready for this. So next up, we get Bayley versus Sol Ruca, and Sol came out like she had a checklist ready, making sure she makes the main roster, never forgetting her, to never forget her. And that so happened because she ran this match. We get arm work, the roll-ups, Bayley trying to ground this gymnast, and Sol just kept doing physics crimes because she kept defying anything gravity was given towards her. She did handstalls, backflips, a clean wipeout drive, and then she did an amazing rope drop. Like, she dived outside the ring. She like backflipped on the ring instead of the usual wrestlers when they want to dive over the rope to land on their opponent outside the ring. She, instead of running and then diving, she backflipped and then blackflip forward towards Bayley and went over all the three ropes and caught her. I personally haven't seen that ever. I thought that was freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. So good for her. She did a lot of amazing spots to get her attention, and people were for it. The big moment was the Soul Snatcher, which I don't have a picture of, unfortunately. But Bayley escapes out of it. Even though she did the Soul Snatcher, she tried to pin out. But then Bayley tries to steal the win by doing a roll-up. But then Sol reverses and gets the 3. Sol Ruca becoming the winner. Bayley was the perfect opponent for this because she'll make you look good like $1 million. She did it for Io Sky. She does it with other people. She was able to do it with a lot of people. Sol Ruca is just another one. So hopefully a lot of people saw this match. Amazing showcase by Sol Ruca. Post match, everybody raising their hands. Bayley, Lyra, Sol, and Zaria. This was saying WWE, yeah, they're ready for this future. All of them raising their hand. They salute. They did the hand in honor of Cena. But hopefully we see more of Sol Ruca in the future. Maybe it's time for her to move up. I don't know yet. I just don't know. I don't know at this point when to bring people up, because every time you think they're ready to move up, WWE main roster don't use them well, and the transition dies off. So Sol Ruca is doing great in NXT. I don't know yet if she's ready for the mid card. I think they need to figure out the main roster first. She's definitely a mid carder for the main roster. Then we get what should have been a longer match, but unfortunately it wasn't. We get AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and NXT's Division X champ, Leon Slater. Evans and Slater jump these men very early in the match. Evans hits a big frog splash, and you can even see the vision, speed, spectacle, and youth between these two. Slater hits that Swanton 450. Lee saves it, but amazing. It was just all about speed. This match went so quickly with all the speed that couldn't catch everything. But amazing spots by everyone. And the match, like I said, eventually ends with a Styles clash, and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee win, still being champs. Definitely this match needed more time because the pieces were just there for something really special. So hopefully we get another match in the future. But for what it was, it did a job. Evans and Slater look like the Tomorrow team. Styles and Lee look like the Bar. So we'll see what happens in this match. But for now, we move on to the main event, the build. But you see them also. It's like everyone was doing a salute. The only people that didn't do a salute is Oba and Cody. But it is what it is. Throughout the night, everyone was between all the matches. They did video promos. They showed different things about John Cena, and they had interviews as well with other people. The one thing we had Stephanie McMahon getting the crowd hyped from the outside camera announcers table, which is in the middle of the crowd, and eventually, while she was doing that, they were trying to, they were all talking about getting ready to say goodbye because everyone knew what was the next match. WWE was doing whatever they can to lean hard into the goodbye tour. Celebrities saying goodbye, legends saying goodbye, wrestlers, everybody. And it's not something to be mad of because Cena earned all these goodbyes. But then, in the middle of all this, what do we see? Originally, I thought for a minute, because I saw a figure, because they were, the camera, the way they shot them, Stephanie, the camera was pointing towards her and then the ring behind her. And you see a figure, and it was hard to see. I saw a jacket, a man in a jacket, and I already thought, oh, Gunther is already out there. They didn't even give him an entrance. And it wasn't Gunther. It was The Miz. The Miz steals the moment like he's allergic to sincerity when it comes to Cena's last time. He's in not Cena gear, he's in a gear that he's not in Cena gear like everyone else. He's in his gear that he went against him in WrestleMania 27's main event. Demanding respect, running the I beat Cena highlight as always. He's always going to run that until he freaking dies. He wanted a match against Cena. He felt disrespected because he was getting the match against Cena. And he wanted something to be fits about it. But then you get R-Truth showing up. Like always, the human chaos that he is. And he immediately tells him, I saw what you did a few weeks ago. And I talked about it on SmackDown when I think it was Sheamus that got injured. Or either the replacement for The Miz or Penta, he replaces one of them. And he did it by tricking Aldis and switching the balls that he had to randomly pick someone. And he switched it with one that said whatever R-Truth was holding with his name. So Miz got another match, and as we know, he lost that match. But R-Truth tells him, I know what you did, and I have the original name that Aldis pulled out to go in that match. And he gives it to our Miz, and Miz opens it. And you already, from the camera, the audience already knows at least who it is. And it's Joe Henry. Who else? This all became a punchline for Joe Henry to appear at the apron. Truth and Henry hit the Cena pose, do 5 knuckle shuffles like it's a tribute and a roast at the same time. Henry hits the standing ovation. Truth counts the pin. That was like hilarious and funny. I don't know. It was just a moment. It was a way to get the crowd warmed up for the next match. After doing the Cena moves, the standing ovation, Truth hits the pin. And they did a goofy pose, as always. They did the turn, and then they, against each other. This was WWE's giving you the last goofy XL before the main event rips your heart out. So we go from a happy moment to the next match. This is it. All right? It's all of it. No more previews. No more packages. No more what ifs. This is it. The last chapter. Gunther Gunther's music hits first, and the crowd reacts like he just unplugged the Wi-Fi at a children's hospital. No playful boos, real hatred. Gunther walks out calm, smug, unbothered, in typical Gunther fashion. Because to him, this isn't John Cena's farewell tour. This is just another Saturday where somebody finds out. What happens when you get chopped by a European tax audit? Then Cena's music hits. And listen, whatever you think about Cena, whatever era you hated him in, whatever 5 moves of doom meme you want to post, that pop does not lie. The people loved it. The people loved to see him one more time. And it hit hard for many that night. It wasn't just about nostalgia. This is 20 plus years of muscle memory crashing into reality all at once. Cena didn't rush to the ring. He took his time. He took into the atmosphere of that match, of the entrance. He looks at his friend Stu on the camera. He takes his camera. He said he was trying to do something different because his last match. He can do whatever he wants at this point. He tried to take Stu's camera, which he did, but then the camera panned to show what Cena was trying to do. He was basically trying to take the camera and point it at Stu one more time because chances are Stu's not going to get this much attention after this. So he was trying to show it, and you hear him say, "Oh, you ready?" Stu's saying to Cena, "Are you ready to go to work?" But WWE didn't move quickly enough, so we barely saw Stu as Cena handed the camera back to him. So he hugs people at rings. He hugs people at ringside. Before even all that, he runs. He finally does his final run down the ring in the most tightest freaking ramp ever because it's Saturday Night Main Event. They have the old school barricades on the side. For all you know, someone could have kicked that and busted open the barricade. But I was shocked when I saw it the first time. Like, Cena's going to run through this for one last time. It's so tight. But he ran down there. But before he enters the ring, he hugs people at ringside. You see legends, old rivals. You see Trish, Sami Zayn, Mark Henry, Booker T, RVD. You see every legend you can think of that wanted to see this. And it was great. Old rivals. Faces you haven't even seen for years. The old locker came out to stay. But it was awesome. It was actually happening. The crowd was into it. You saw him spin, do his hand gestures, and everyone was going for it. Everyone was livid for this moment. They were up for it. Lillian Garcia finally gets to business and does the intros with an old school mic, ring mic. And I'm not gonna lie, that alone raised the emotional level of this match. Then the bell rings. Early lockup, clean break for half a second. It almost feels polite. Then Gunther chops Cena and reminds everyone, "Oh yeah, this is gonna hurt." Every chop sounds like Cena's chest owes Gunther some money. And Gunther isn't rushing. He's not trying to beat Cena. He's trying to erase him. The crowd starts chanting everything except polite language. Censor is fighting for its life on Peacock tonight. Cena fires up. Shoulder tackles. Side suplex, you can't see me hits, and the building explodes because at this point it's Pavlonian. 5 knuckle shuffles. Does it land clean? Who freaking cares at this point? The point is that it exists because this is Cena's last match. 5 knuckles, everything. Did it land? Who knows? If you watch the video, you'll know the answer. But anyway, Gunther shuts it down immediately. Big boot, lariat, powerbomb. No celebration, no flair. Just resets like nets. But then eventually, Cena locks in the STF. And the arena stands up. Like, wait, are they really doing this? Are they really going to make him tap out? Gunther crawls to the ropes and escapes because of course he does. And it was hard for him. You saw him struggle to try to get to that. But then he escapes because when Cena tries to pull him back, because he saw him getting close to the ropes, and he does what usually Cena does when he sees that happen. He gets up, pulls him the legs, but as soon as he did that, Gunther was able to break, and then he starts stacking lariats like he's recreating the Brock Lesnar match against Cena. Except this time it was personal. Cena keeps getting dropped, keeps getting up, and the crowd differentiates from the hype to the concern. Then we go outside eventually after all this, and we get to a table spot. Wait, where is it? And then we get to a table spot, guys. Yeah. We get to a table spot. Gunther is clearing the space like he wants to retire Cena structurally. And then we get an AA through the table. That's probably the moment people believed, or everyone believed. Nah, that was cool. Believe me. Oh my God. They might actually let him win. Like people were getting into that moment. Me, I'm like, nah. Wait. Cena drags Gunther back into the ring. Cover. Gunther kicks out at about 2.5, 2.8, who knows. And the building audibly panics. Cena goes up to the top rope. Top rope leg drop like in 2025, like he unlocked a cheat code from 2007. Another near fall. Now Cena's doing the one more body language. Fans chanting like they're trying to physically push him forward. Avalanche AA. He hits it. He covers. Gunther kicks out. Again with a close 3 fall. Like he refuses to die in someone else's farewell montage. And that's when you realize, oh, this isn't a happy ending. Gunther goes back to a sleeper again and again, and he's tightening the seatbelt of destiny. But there's... Wow, my slides are disorganized. That's why I'm running around. But yeah, here's the high. He goes for the high level... whatchamacallit? He goes for the Avalanche AA. He hits it, covers, 2.5. Gunther kicks out, and he refuses. But anyway. Cena fights up, breaks it, hits another AA. Gunther sits up like the Undertaker, which I thought was funny. He goes for all these grab maneuvers. He's desperate. Like, Gunther's desperate to go for every break that he can. He goes again and again and again. Cena breaks it. He goes for it again. He goes for it again. Gunther eventually... He hits another AA. Gunther sits up like the Undertaker for a half a second and immediately locks him up. If you see that video, it's hilarious as hell because he gets up. It looks like like a horror movie. Like he just grabs him and that's it. The crowd chanting, "Don't give up." Cena's fighting like this is less about winning and more about not fading out. Reps checks the arm once, twice. Cena twitches back alive and then building, but loses it again. He gets up again, rams Gunther into the corner, tries desperation offense. Gunther stays glued, hammered elbows, body lock, no flash, no drama, just control. Cena finally fades. Cena taps. Now, you see him just smile as he does that. And that's what people are that's one of the reasons people are pissed about. But he eventually taps, and just like that, Cena's career is over. No swerve, no miracle kick out, no one more match tease. Gunther retires John Cena clean. Say what you want, but WWE didn't protect the ending. They committed to it. And that's it. I mean, guys, no offense, but if you read the memo, since he said he was going to retire, he always said the moment he saw that he was going to slow down is the moment he knew he had to retire, and he saw that. You can even see it in this match. He had to slow down. Gunther was slower than usual in this match in order to meet the pace of Cena. While Gunther, like I said, Gunther does amazing matches, this was an okay match for him. And it's not because he wasn't doing good. He was trying to meet the momentum of Cena, because we all knew Cena couldn't go it that hard anymore. He said it on the interviews. He is giving everything he got for these few matches. I said it on the stream last week when I was talking about the 200 dates. Originally, Cena wanted to do 220 dates, but then he realized, oh, it's good that he didn't, because his body can't go that hard anymore. He can't. When you see him in public, he can bear. He has a certain way of walking now because his body is done. And this is probably the best way to end. He ended. Not only did he end the match, he ended his gimmick of never give up. He gave up. He said he was leaving. He said he was done after this match. He said when you see him next, it won't be in his jorts. It won't be in his Fruity Pebble colored shirts. You will see him in a suit, because he was done with his wrestling career. And to cement that he was ending his wrestling career, what better way to do it than end the gimmick that everyone, all his fans, all the people that supported him, destroy. He destroyed the gimmick of never give up by giving up. And that's how you ended it. That's a guarantee that he is not coming back as John Cena the wrestler. He's going to come back as John Cena the promoter, John Cena the hyper, the ambassador, but he's not coming back as a wrestler. He gave up. And that's it. You can chant the next time you see him saying you give up to piss him off. He won't care. He doesn't care. He is done. And that's what people didn't understand, that he ended, yes, on his own terms. And that was his term. He wanted to put someone over. Like, now, is Gunther the best person? I think so at this point, the way the crowd reacted, because who else can absorb this level of heat that's about to happen in the weeks to come than Gunther? If you put LA Knight, his career is destroyed because the fans wouldn't let it happen. If you put it on Carmelo Hayes, same thing. Because the fans, whether it's the IWC or just the Cena fans themselves that can't accept that he's gone, you guys would have made whoever beat John Cena a living hell out of their careers. And at this point, Gunther is the only person that is going to be able to do it and move on. Because you did the same to Brock. You did the same to Roman when he beat Undertaker. You guys gave him shit. And it's fine. But to afterwards is what's worse. Which I haven't gotten to yet. What's worse, it's what happened after. Oh, look at all these salty fans. You guys, it's okay. We're going to be okay. Trust me. We're going to be okay. Because we have, and Cena always was going to be okay. Afterwards, Gunther leaves because he did what he had to do. So his job is done. The fans are mad everywhere, including Father Time itself, because, of course, his power is too strong. Even he hates it sometimes. Cena stays in the ring and breathe it in. All the boos, all the BS. They all chant BS, BS, BS. Because the fans can't accept that he lost. Or at least accept the loss the way he did. Because it ruined the gimmick. Yes. We need to kill the gimmick in order to ensure that you guys can never say to John Cena, never say never. Because now it's never. There's no more never say. No, it's never. Cena said it. It's never. I'm killing the gimmick to make sure it's never. The locker room empties out into the arena. Triple H and Shawn show up. Cody and Punk put their world titles on Cena. A symbolic, respectable gesture. Because it's also showing the heavy carrying that Cena did throughout the years. Especially during the dark era of WWE that nobody or limited people watched. And if you know, you know. Punk, like I said, they put their titles in the ring with Cena, and yeah, a lot of heavy lifting there. A lot of people, I'm gonna go off topic again. A lot of people said he can't be. Yeah, he was a goat, but he was a goat in an era that no one barely watched. True. But if he didn't do it with the people that he had with him to do that, WWE wouldn't exist today. So let's get some facts straight. Yes, he was the GOAT on a time that was probably the most unwatchable WWE content there was, but it was still there, and he carried it. He still made it happen. He still, with others, not just Cena, was able to still make the company at least somewhat profitable to continue to today. Now, I don't know what their financial level is. Maybe it's the reason why we're getting charged so much for tickets, but it's still here. And you can thank Cena and others for that. It's very easy to be the GOAT during eras that people are glued to the TV. But it is harder for someone to do it during an era that people say the stuff is unwatchable, everything's unwatchable. There were still people watching though. There were still people buying his merch and others' merches. So they were able to survive. So he carried a heavier burden than any other champ. I'm not a big John Cena fan. I never liked his gimmick. I was like whatever to his gimmick. But all the opponents he faced that I did like made it memorable matches. Cena versus Punk. Money in the Bank. An absolute masterpiece of a match. Edge and John Cena. Great rivalry. Same thing with Randy. The once and twice in a lifetime. Let's just stick to once in a lifetime match. Was not the greatest match, but it was such a big freaking hype. It was such a big hype that got more eyes glued to the product. And he put people over. Yes, he didn't put everyone over, but that again wasn't his call. But he made every moment that he went memorable. The way they dropped the belts on him felt almost as emotional as when Iron Man snapped his fingers at Endgame and we all knew he was dying, and his wife told Tony, "It's okay, you saved the world, you can sleep now." And that's what he did. He slept, he went away, he passed away. Similar way, Cena, you did everything for us. You left the company better than you came in. You can retire now, because now it's up to Cody. It's up to Drew. It's up to Seth. Anyone. Whoever is left in this place, it's up to them now to carry it. Cena's not coming back. It's over. If the freaking company goes under, it's because of whoever's left. So like it or leave it, this is how he retires. And it's freaking poetic as hell. I freaking loved it. Was it the best year build-up retirement tour? Absolutely not. We can talk about that another time. But the way it ended, it's the way it should have ended. He should have tapped out. As soon as you mentioned Gunther as his person, yeah, that's it. Yeah, right, you said. Carried them when Roma couldn't. He carried it when Roman Reigns couldn't. He did show, unless if that's what you mean. Yes, he showed up when Roman Reigns was in his suffering succotash era as champ, or as a forced face. And he told Roman, I am here because you can't live up to it. Because you can't cut it as the face. But now they can. Now they all can. I don't know. Cena takes the belts. He poses in every corner to give the crowd a last minute moment. He soaks it in. All the people around him, the whole locker room clapping. Even Stu was there. Stu, sometime between leading Cena into the ring and to the final bell, he was able to put his camera down, change his shirt to a last time is now shirt. Oh, yes. He said, I can't retire because you can't carry the company. Thank you, Racy. Yes. He couldn't. Roman at that time couldn't carry the company. I don't know what happened between then and becoming the tribal chief. It just became relevant story, and it was because of Paul Heyman. You can thank Paul for that. But here's the sad part. Paul Heyman can't be here forever. Eventually, he's going to retire too. Some people need to wake up and figure out what to do. Storyline, building champs. But we'll see. Anyway, eventually, after the crowd keeps crying, Cena does give the belts back to them because it was just meant for the moment. Obviously, they're still champs. And of course, the photo. I just love this photo because I just love people staying mad. Triple H hugs him. He gives him a hug. The one thing I would say Triple H could have done better to maybe ease up the annoyance people had, because they said Triple H screwed up. They were yelling Triple H screwed up. The one thing he should have done, you see how John when Cody and CM Punk gave the titles to Cena, they went to the corner and kneed down. The reason they did that is because they wanted this moment right here, this shot, to be all about Cena. They wanted everyone to focus on Cena and not what others were doing. Unfortunately, during this whole segment, Triple H was still standing tall on the other corner where he hugged them. I would say Triple H should have kneeled down too. But you can't say that to the boss of the company. He can do whatever he wants. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. I would have expected him to do that, knowing that he was a wrestler himself. But Triple H be doing Triple H stuff. Anyway, a person after Triple H and Cena hug each other, Triple H points him to a screen where a personal video plays, including interviews from Cena's parents, him as a kid showing the belt. If you guys don't know, that infamous photo of young Cena with the paper belt, the championship, universe champion, or champion of the universe is what he called it in an interview. And he was just watching it. And that's probably when it finally hit different for everyone. That wasn't just WWE saying goodbye. This was also becoming the people saying goodbye. Then he does finally the last thing, obviously, that makes it real. He salutes to his people. He takes his shoes off, armbands off, in the middle of the ring. No music, no speech, no last catchphrase, just a bow, a salute, and a man walking away from a 23-year career. Whether you loved him, hated him, or argued about him for 2 decades, this was wrestling saying goodbye to one of its pillars. No soft behavior at all. Thank you, Cena. So that's it. 23 years. One of the biggest runs ever. And WWE actually did the hard thing. They let the ending hurt. If you don't believe me, look at Instagram right now. Look at X. Look at TikTok. Everyone is still hurt. They did the job right. People are mad. People are saying, oh, Cena should have said something before leaving. I partially agree and partially disagree. I think he shouldn't have done a big speech. If anything, there should have been he should have come for one more date, break his vow, do one more date, come on Raw to go against Gunther and tell him, I'm going to give you everything I got. Basically, what he's been saying in interviews. Because the problem I'm seeing is what I said earlier in this stream. No one read the memo when it came to Cena's retirement. And what I mean by that is all the hints, all the statements, everything Cena's been saying since Money in the Bank 2024. He said he is done after X amount of dates. He is done. His body can't go anymore. He's going to give everything he can give to his fans for this year. And that's what he did. He didn't hold back. If you think he hold back, that's because you don't understand that he is freaking hurt. His body is done. He's gassed out. He is, in every way I can say, he's done. If you saw some of his matches weren't that great, yeah. He's done. His body's told. This is the story of a wrestler after years of working in the business. And this is what happens. The smartest thing Cena has ever done is done a way that people can look into doing in the future. Knowing when your body is done and setting up a plan to leave. And making that plan a moment that is memorable for everyone to come. Now, people are going to be mad in the years to come and say, this could have been better. But eventually people are going to say, who cares? I remember this moment. The people that went to these events are going to remember these moments. They're going to remember when he turned heel and how it didn't work. But I don't know. There's not much I can say at this point. I mean, I'm still reflecting myself on everything. But the memo is clearly stated. And maybe and going back to it, he should have said something since he never said it in person. He should have said, my body is done. Guys, I understand you're mad, but I gave everything I did to Gunther. It was a 48-year-old man versus a guy in his late 30s. A guy in his prime. I gave everything in my tank for you for this past year. I became a two-time champ. And, I gained 2 championships this year. I broke a record. I gave you moments for you to remember. Mental pictures. I gave everything I got, guys. This is all I can give you. And with that, I'm done. I take a bow and I'm out after 23 years in this company. He shouldn't have tapped out. That's not your call. I love how people think they can book better. It's hard to book a wrestling event. It's hard to book a story. This is probably what Cena wanted, and this is the best thing for Cena. He retired, as Queen of the Ring said, he retired as a professional wrestler. He did the professional wrestler way because he's a classicist that way. He has studied the classic way of wrestling. He's a fan of NWA. He said that since day one. He had taped matches. He is a true wrestling fan. He had taped matches and cassettes of best of whoever he liked. And he watched it. He studied them, understanding whether were good matches or bad matches, what to take from them for himself. And he even watched his own matches to understand what he can do better. He was a fan who lived the dream. He was a true wrestling fan. And when I mean wrestling fan, true to the core wrestling fan, not a sports entertainment fan, even though he became a sports entertainment wrestler. Michael Cole said it best after the match was over. Tonight, sport entertainment has been defeated by professional wrestling. And that's true. Gunther is the ultimate professional wrestling machine. And that's probably the path we go forward while blending in some sports entertainment. Because we're still going to be sports entertainment, whether we believe it or not. But it's going to be more professionally wrestling focused, hopefully, in the future. What I love about this photo, though, just to stab it in there more, you see this head? Oh, you see this headband right here? Love how never give up. Even though he didn't meant for this to happen, when he dropped these armbands, the never give up fell upside down. Poetic. But anyway, I don't know what else to say. I appreciate everything Cena has done over the years. I hated some of his gimmicks. I loved some of the moments he made. I was there for WrestleMania 29 for Twice in a Lifetime. It was a little better match than the first one. I am glad I was able to experience that. I was also able to experience, even though he didn't wrestle in that match, he did show up at WrestleMania 35. He showed up for some reason in his Doctor of Thugonomics gear to poke a little laugh from everyone. It was fun. Those I will remember the moments he gave me. I'll remember the anger he gave me. And I will still appreciate the work ethic that he did for the business. From coming in early in the morning or early in the show to make sure he watches everything. He gives guidance to those that get it the same way he got it from others like The Undertaker and other higher ups like Mr. McMahon, I guess, or Triple H, Stone Cold, whoever. But that's it. I mean, there's not much you can say. Anyway, drop in the comments. Did you like Gunther being the final opponent? Or would you have done with a legacy rival like Orton or Punk? Or do you believe Cena when he says it's really over? I am Arrow. This has been the Tea Drop, where we don't just call out the spots. We call out the chaos with no soft behavior. Stay safe. And thank you, Cena.